Locally owned and serving the residents of Bay County for over 45 years. Visit their feed store at the Youngstown location for all of your livestock feed, plumbing, electrical, lawn, and garden needs. They also carry local Chautauqua wines, baby chicks, and a full line of poultry supplies to get your chicks started off right. Mid-South Lumber, the biggest little lumber yard in Panama City.
Are you ready for Panama City's best pizza? Then check out the new Guru's Pizza 786. They don't do just pizza. They also serve wings, pasta, calzone, salad, sandwiches, and more. Guru's Pizza 786 has 50-plus Indian and Italian pizza varieties. They're open Monday through Thursday until midnight, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday until 3 a.m. Takeout and delivery are available. Guru's Pizza 786, 7806 Front Beach Road. Call 850-588-5055. Better quality and better taste.
It's time for the 2023 Southern Lights Talent Event. We're looking for local artists, including singers, musicians, comedians, any family-friendly talent that wants to take their talent to the next level. $10,000 in cash, recording deals, Chipola scholarships, video specials, all going to talented people from all over the tri-state area. We're also looking for sponsors, people and businesses that want to support local artists and make an impact on their community. Auditions are going on right now, so check us out today at southernlights.cc.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now we're taking...
With the first pick.
This is the last ball you got to bat.
The Inside Drive. From college to the pros. Interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good morning, Florida Panhandle. Jay, how are you doing this morning? Good. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida, sitting inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios. As always, you can listen to us on 104.3 in Panama City Beach, 101.9 along the Forgotten Coast, and you can always check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Just search ESPN Northwest Florida, and always visit ESPNPC.com. You can click that Listen Live button, or even better yet, go to the Google Play Store or the Apple Store and just download our free mobile app. Just search 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. As always, we appreciate the Kramer family and the sponsorship of our studio here on the Inside Drive. You can check them out down there at 2251 West 23rd Street in Panama City. All you got to do is start heading east on 23rd Street, and you cannot miss the giant Kramer sign and all those great vehicles they now have in stock. Trade values still super high, and as always, they sell tires at what, Jay?
At cost.
There you go, one for one on this week.
1 for 1.
It's off to a good start.
Yes,
I like it. But yeah, you can get their tires at cost there from Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick and GMC. As always, too, Kramer Marine and Outdoor, it's Billfish Week, which is hard to believe. Yeah. We're going to go into a lot more detail about the Billfish tournament here in just a little bit. But if you are out on the water this weekend and you need something went wrong and you need to get back out there, you can visit Kramer Marine and Outdoor. Same location, 2251 West 23rd Street. They are a Yamaha outboard full-line dealer as well as Suzuki outboard motor dealer. Yamaha Master Certified mechanics on staff to get your boat back out on the water ASAP. They also sell Seaboard, Spider, Sundance, all the CRI boat families, soon to have Skeeter boats coming in as well, not just a Bass Lake boat, but they're going to have some Flats Bay boats as well. You can check out all that new and used inventory on Kramer Marine and Outdoor.com. Jay, did you have a good weekend?
I did, man. I'm just looking at your shirt. I like that shirt you got.
The kids and I say the kids, some of the younger folk that work in the golf shop have always called this the SpongeBob SquarePants shirt.
I can see that.
It's got the pineapples. It's got, I believe, where Squidward stays. I don't know if that's like an Easter Island head or whatever that may be. I'm sure it has a specific name. It just felt like the right shirt to wear to kick off this week.
Absolutely. You're rocking it, man.
Yeah, that is for sure. Also, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I had a good weekend. Played some golf yesterday.
Oh, nice.
So that was good. Enjoyed that. And let's see, hung out with the kids yesterday afternoon for a bit. So we had a good afternoon. Had to go get a new monitor. You know, my son's got like 3 TVs.
Yeah, and he's got every gaming console known to man.
He's got 3 TVs in his room, and for some reason, I think one of the monitors had fallen off, and so anyways, it broke.
Did he throw a controller at it and knocked it off? Is that what happened?
I confronted him about that. I said, look, I said, I'll buy you another one, but you got to tell me the truth. And he told me, he said, look, it fell off the desk. So
after you already committed to buying one, of course he's not going to tell you the truth.
No, yeah. But no, I was at Best Buy yesterday, scrolling through trying to find a screen or whatever. Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah, it was a good weekend, man. Obviously busy on the lesson tee Saturday.
Yeah, I saw you out there teaching a bunch on Saturday. Who was that one guy you were working with when me and Liam were up there hitting?
Okay, that is
kind of a tall.
Yeah, Bryce Curry is his name. Good swing too. Yeah, he's like 20. He's like 20 years old, but yeah, he was just crushing it.
That's because he's been getting lessons from you.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
That's how that works.
Golfwithjay.com.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And how's Michael Shears doing? Is he playing in anything as we speak?
Yeah, I was texting with him over the weekend. He was up in Athens this past week. I think he got back into town yesterday. I don't think he's got anything. No, that Florida Am qualifier actually moved. We had that bad weather. He was going to be in Pensacola at a club over there where they closed it for a few weeks because of the bad weather.
Oh, yeah. Pensacola was getting hammered, that's for sure.
So they moved that Florida Am qualifier over to Rocky Bayou. And he knew that I had played Rocky Bayou.
Your old stomping grounds there for the U.S. Open local.
Yeah, so I was waiting for some advice, and he never asked for it. So, so anyways.
Yeah, you could take that 2 ways.
Yeah.
He figured it out, or
you never know.
He didn't want your advice. One or the other.
There you go. But anyways, I don't know when that's happening. But other than that, man, just cruising along.
Right. Summertime. It's almost July. Hard to believe. That's for sure. And don't forget out there at Bay Point Golf Club, we do have our awesome Yeti cooler. You need some cold, frosty beverages, maybe some waters, Gatorades, whatever it may be. And you need something to hold it. You can win yourself one of those awesome new Yeti rolling coolers. Pretty big. I don't even know what quart it would be, but it's you can see it right there in the golf shop. It's got wheels, it's got a handle, it's got a cool TaylorMade logo on it as well, right underneath that Yeti cooler logo. All you got to do is buy 2 sleeves of TP5, TP5X. Those are TaylorMade golf balls, and you get 1 raffle ticket to be entered to win that cooler, or you can buy a dozen and get 3 raffle tickets. Now you can buy 2 dozen and get 6 raffle tickets. You get the gist. You just keep going, get as many you want. There's not a ton in there yet, but as we progress on, I'm sure a lot of people will be taking advantage of that, because those TP5 and TP5X golf balls are a good golf ball. That's for sure. That is for sure. But all you got to do is make a purchase of 2 sleeves or a dozen, and you'll get 1 or 3 raffle tickets. And we're going to run that contest between now and the end of July. We'll announce the winner of that drawing early first week in August, and then we'll be going back to school right after that. So the summertime lasts a while, though. Summertime's all the way in, feels like, into October for us here in the beautiful Emerald Coast of the Florida Panhandle. Man, lots of good stuff going on this past weekend sports-wise. Don't forget, too, we got the Blast at Bay Point promotion is up and running. This morning on the Coach James Hale Show, we had our first guest. It was too high. I will tell all the listeners that, but you need to tune in at 12:40, which is a little ways away, but if you hang with us and give us a call, 850-215-62 290 in that break after our 12:20 segment, right before we come back on the air at 12:40. We will take the 10th caller, and if you can guess what my 18-hole golf score was from this past weekend, if you get that right, you're going to win yourself a round of golf for you and a friend. If you don't win and you make that and you get the 10th caller, we're still going to give you something cool. We'll let you know that when you call in. But the first guess was high. We'll let everybody know that. Which, I'm a little offended by that, I guess I should say. I always mention I don't play a whole lot of golf.
No, you don't.
High is probably high, or a higher guess is probably the right thing. But
that number's got to be between what now?
50 and 100.
50, okay.
That's what Randy said. But let's be more realistic. That number needs to be between 68 and 92.
Yeah.
How about that?
There were a couple of guys this past weekend, right around the 58, 59 mark out on tour. I mean, right? Like, this is crazy.
Well, that's what happens, too, when you have a short par 70 PGA Tour golf course. And I want to get your thoughts on some of the comments that some of the players are making. Obviously, we can kind of jump right into it. But I want to talk a little bit more about the Bay Point Billfish Open first before we recap that PGA Tour event from this past weekend. Hard to believe we are only 2 days away from the kickoff Dock Walk tournament party, which is going to happen on Wednesday, the 28th, coming up. We've been talking about this since we've been on the air, and we are certainly excited for this one. It is full-fledged. Everybody's getting ready out there. The tents are going up. Parking lot lights are going up. The vendor tents are getting set up. Merchandise is coming in. So it's here. Everybody's been waiting, and it's Billfish Week. And I know everybody at the golf club, we're excited to be a part of it. A lot of us have never been here for a Billfish tournament at Bay Point, so that's an exciting thing as well, as we've never seen it before. But that all gets kicked off really from the public standpoint. We have our golf tournament on the Wednesday morning. That's if you are playing in that one. That's an 8:30 shotgun start. It is sold out. It's been sold out for a while, so we're kind of finalizing all the details on that. And then if you're in the actual Billfish tournament, the fishing tournament, your tournament check-in and registration runs from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. that afternoon. And then you got a mandatory captain's meeting at 5:30 to get everybody ready for the fishing tournament. And then they'll do a nice little captain's banquet from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., followed by for all the public to come out 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. You got the tournament kickoff Dock Walk. That starts at 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then the concert will start right there on the Robertson Robert stage at 7:30, and I forget her name. I know it's Mackenzie. You had mentioned she was just at the just performed at the Grand Ole Opry, right?
She did.
And then there's some other people that'll be following her, and I don't know who it is. Everybody's been asking me about it, but if you're going to come out one of the nights that's not a weigh-in night, Wednesday night's the one to do it. Lots of parking available along the Old Meadows Golf Course. There's also some other opportunities to get some VIP parking and some different things, but that concert will get kicked off Wednesday, June 28th. At 7:30, which I'm excited about that because I've got flag football practice tonight, Tuesday night, flag football game on Thursday. So we're definitely going to be there for that Wednesday night concert. We're excited to check that out. And then, of course, on Thursday, June 29th, that's when everything gets underway from the fishing tournament aspect. 9 a.m., you're going to have a boat parade. Everybody will be leaving the Point South Marina there at Bay Point, heading out to the Gulf. That starts at 9. 10 a.m., there'll be a flare start. I think they were saying, I don't know if that's on a pier or if Scott and a couple other people are going to be heading out on a boat out there in the Gulf and shooting that flare off, and then everybody will kick those engines into high gear and head out to that shelf trying to catch that state record blue marlin that'll win you what, Jay Henley?
$2.5 million.
$2.5 million. You're 2 for 2 today.
Yes, sir.
I can't even count that one. I mean, that one you're probably just saying your sleep at this point.
Yep.
So I don't know what we're going to talk. Well, I'm going to have to come up with something else after this Billfish tournament's over, so you can get it right.
And these boats are going hundreds of miles out into the Gulf.
Out. Yep. You got to have amazing. Some power and lots of money for fuel.
Yeah,
that is for sure. Because you got to get out there where the fish are.
Yeah.
And the fish are way out there.
That's it.
Because they're big old fish.
Yeah.
And hopefully somebody will bring in something awesome because that'll be exciting. That first weigh-in will happen Friday from 4 to 8 p.m. And we also have, don't forget, another concert. You got a concert at 7:30 on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So 3 opportunities for some live music right there inside Bay Point. That stage will be right across from the golf club, adjacent to the marina there in that Marina View Park. They'll be getting the stage set up and ready to rock and roll. The weather actually looks fantastic.
It does.
Which, we've been in this kind of crazy pattern of storms, sun, but this week it's like everything's lining up the way it should be. It looks like it's going to be warm. I mean, it's June, but that's what you expect.
It's going to be 92, probably the last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl. 92.
I like the
degrees?
dig on the Cowboys, but it might be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Might be 93.
It was in the 90s.
Oh yeah, it was definitely in the 90s. It was. There's so many fun comparison stats when it comes to the Cowboys. That's for sure.
I thought you'd like that one.
I did. Yeah. I appreciate it. I saw something yesterday too. It said something about the Niners have started, 5 different quarterbacks in the last, 5 or 6 years, and they've made it to 3 out of 4 NFC championships. I guess that would be the last 4 years. And the Cowboys have started Tony Romo and Dak Prescott, and they haven't made it to the NFC championship since he started. But that's what happens when you spend that big money.
Yeah.
On those big Jumbotron screens, which we talked about last week.
That's right.
Maybe you should spend more money on players and not on the screens. But they do. I mean, I hate to dig the Cowboys because a lot of my friends are Cowboys fans, and luckily we've been able to beat them the last 2 years in the playoffs. Otherwise, it'd be a lot more sad.
How ironic is it that we had a Bill, here during the weekend, and it's Bill Fish tournament this week? Is that a little ironic, like Alanis Morissette said?
It's like rain on your wedding day.
That's it. That's it.
It's a free ride, but you've already paid. So, who's the Bill you're talking about? A Buffalo Bill. He got me. He got me, David.
I got him.
Went right over my head. Man, that was impressive.
Anyway.
That was impressive. I was thinking the name Bill.
Oh.
And it went to Bill, like our assistant pro Bill.
Right. Well, there's many Bills we're talking about.
Oh, yeah, that was really cool. Dawson Knox came out and played some golf with us on Saturday, and talk about an awesome dude.
Yeah, man.
I know he's a younger guy.
Yeah.
Right now he's tight end 1 for the Buffalo Bills. Now you got Dalton Kincaid, which is now on the Bills, so might be a little more competition. Who knows? Maybe Dawson Knox will end up being a Niner in the future. But anyway, took the time to chat with Liam for a little bit. Signed a ball, and then Liam asked him, "Hey, can I throw you some passes?" And he was all about it. Yeah. Which was just so cool.
Oh,
and, obviously that's a memory that Liam will share with him for the rest of his life. And
it kind of this is crazy, Ryan. So this kind of led into, obviously I got assigned football, for Parker, my son, or whatever. And we're sitting there talking yesterday, and we were talking about superstitions, and how a lot of these football players have superstitions. And he is a huge Josh Allen fan, so he was talking about how Josh Allen throws up before every game.
Yep, there's a lot of people that do
I
that.
literally had to Google it. I didn't believe it, and I Googled it, and it was like, oh my gosh. So anyways, I thought it says it calms his nerves.
It's a pretty common, not super common, but there's a lot of athletes on any level that, it's kind of part of their pre-game routine.
I don't highly recommend it to anyone listening out there.
No, I mean, we're not trying to put any of those eating disorders. We're not recommending doing that, but this is a little different ballgame when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, it's just crazy. And you would think, you would want as much in your system as, I don't know, just part of the routine.
Yeah.
Part of the routine.
It's working for him.
Yep. And now, once you start that and you go to AFC championships or make the playoffs, however many years they have, you can't go away from that.
Mm-mm.
So,
no.
Maybe he should, so they can get over that hump to make it to the Super Bowl.
There you go.
If you're listening, Josh, stop throwing up and you'll make it to the Super Bowl.
That's right.
You heard it here first on the Inside Drive.
You got that right.
But yeah, just it was so funny too when Liam went to shake Dawson Knox's hand. It was like if I stuck out my finger and you shook my finger. That's what it kind of looked like. His hands are so big, and Liam had fun. When we were walking back to throw that pass, he's like, "I'm nervous." I was like, "I've never heard you say you're nervous before." And he turned and slinged a couple rocks with him. And
when you met him, what was the first thing that came to your mind? I know what it came to my mind.
How am I supposed to tackle this guy?
No kidding.
That's what I said. But yeah, I guess they're all huge. So
tree trunk is the only thing I could come up with. Good gosh,
big fella. Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, cool experience. And that's one thing that's cool about golf. And even when Cal was in here earlier talking about some of the people his son met through golf, and golf's kind of if you don't play golf, you should, because you never know who you're going to meet out there on the golf course. And luckily, I know you've met a lot of cool people. In my career in golf, I've had an opportunity to meet a lot of cool people with Masters Week, and then working down here and being such a destination for folks. So learn how to play golf.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to play golf, I know someone who can teach you how to play golf.
You can. There you go. You can. It's just like social. The social aspect of it, the business aspect of it. Whether just everything about it is so good.
The competition aspect of it as well. Like if you like to compete, it's just such a fun game to compete with as well. But
mental, physical, whatever it may be, strategy. we talk a little bit about strategy. Strategery. Yeah.
That's a big part of golf.
It is, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. When I was playing this weekend, shooting the score that, don't forget, 1240, you got to do the high-low. The one guess has already been high. So
Yep.
I don't know if I'm supposed to tell them what that guess was. No. Got to keep that on the DL.
We do.
It was high, though. That's why you have to pay attention to the shows. You got to listen to all 3 shows. And don't forget, you got the Coach James Hale Show every morning from 7 to 9 a.m. You got the Inside Drive with us, Ryan Mulvey and Jay Henley hanging out in studio. And then afternoon underdogs from 4 to 6 p.m. If nobody guesses that, we just keep kicking this thing down the road. But if you don't listen, you won't know what number was guessed. So that's why you have to listen. And again, coming up at 12:40 Central Time, if you're listening in the Eastern Time Zone, that'll be 1:40 your time zone. Give us a call, 850-215-6290. The 10th caller will have a chance to play high-low to win themselves a round of golf for a friend. And you can't play golf by yourself. I mean, you can play golf by yourself.
Yeah,
but it's so much better when you play with a friend.
That's right. Absolutely.
Sure. That is for sure. We still need to set up this match. Once we get through the Billfish with me, David, Max, and yourself, and go play a 2-person scramble and see what happens.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Sitting on go, as they say.
Yes,
Sitting
sir.
on go.
Sitting on go.
That was really cool. I know we don't have a ton of time. A couple of kids on my flag football team, the Fish brothers, the twins. Guess where they're at?
Where?
Omaha.
Oh.
So they're not going to be able to make practice tonight.
No, they're not.
Because they are at Omaha watching their dad, Jacob, is a big Florida guy. He went to Florida, and so they made the trip up there for the College World Series. But that's pretty cool.
That is cool, man. Yeah, I'm excited. What time is that all kicking off this season?
6 p.m. tonight.
6 p.m.?
Yep, 6 p.m. tonight.
I'll be tuned into that.
Thought about canceling flag football practice because of that, but
worthy.
You got to get some reps. You got to get some reps.
Solid excused absence.
Yeah, man.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
The day is still early. But, big game coming up tonight. I know we got a break here coming up. Jay, when we get back from that break, you want to hit us with your Jay Henley's tip of the week?
Absolutely.
Okay. Last week's one was awesome. I know that when I played golf, that was when you talk about hooking the ball and
Yes.
and keeping your hands and your club face working together. That's for sure.
I needed that yesterday morning. Golly, I totally forgot about it.
You should visit golfwithjay.com.
There you
book
go.
yourself a lesson. I don't know how that would work, but it'd certainly be pretty cool. A lot of stuff to talk about today. We got to recap those 2 College World Series games and preview the game coming up tonight. Also, Jay's going to tell us a little bit about that race up in Nashville with the NASCAR was going on and
fast cars and guitars.
That's right. Yep. That's right. Speaking of Nashville, the whole Dawson Knox crew was down from Nashville.
Oh,
so just an easy straight shot to Panama City Beach from Nashville. So talk a little bit about the golf going on as well. A lot of big golf tournaments. Keegan Bradley got the dub this past weekend, broke some records. I want to talk too about we didn't have a chance last week to talk about the vacated wins by the LSU football program and what kind of implications that has on Les Miles and some of the things that went down and all that good stuff. But you are listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. When we get back, we'll be hearing Jay Henley's golf tip of the week. We'll be right back.
Wrong side of the truck bed this morning with a bone dry bottle of Jack Ice.
ESPN Northwest Florida is on location at Dave & Buster's. The afternoon underdogs are broadcasting live at Dave & Buster's Pier Park with half-price cocktails, half-price games, free Dave & Buster's game cards, and choice swag from ESPN Northwest Florida. Join David, Kyle, Amanda, Drew, and a cast of sports fanatics every Wednesday from 4 to 6 with fun and prizes at Dave & Buster's Pier Park with ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Monday. Possible thunderstorms and partly cloudy this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze at 14 miles per hour coming out of the southwest and temps near 87. We will have partly cloudy skies tonight and be quite warm at 80. And partly sunny much of the day, but with a chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening tomorrow and a high 87. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hi, I'm Tracy, your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Shopping for the perfect diamond can be difficult, but that's why I've trained my staff to be helpful and to offer you a stress-free diamond experience. Pick your sparkle and use our easy layaway plan. Every woman deserves an exquisite diamond from your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We don't work on commissions.
We work for smiles and I-dos.
So if you're tired of high-pressure salespeople, stop by and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Do you suffer from political talk radio fatigue? And tune into the most fun and exciting new radio show on the Gulf Coast. It's The Inside Drive with Brian Mulvey. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live on ESPN Northwest Florida. I don't know who has more fun on this show, me, you, or David back there with the great song choices that he's always bringing.
Always me, brother.
That's true.
DJ Davy Crockett.
Oh,
That's it.
God, that's the best name.
I like D. Hayes.
Well, D. Hayes is his afternoon underdog.
Oh.
When he's behind the glass, spinning those big-time hits back there, he's DJ Davy Crockett.
Clicking his mouse, baby.
Hey,
That's right.
Hey, it's 2023. Clicking a mouse is the same thing. You still got to make it happen. You still got to come up with the song.
Yeah.
And all that good stuff. So I'm sure there'll be a couple good ones later on today. You don't want to miss out. You're listening to the Inside. Forget you got to listen to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida, sitting inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios. It is time for, I put my hand up, but he's DJ David Crockett's not looking. It is time for...
It's Jay's Golf Tip of the Week.
Yes, I love it.
This is when everybody's tuned in because they want to know how to get better at golf.
So if we go back for a few weeks now, we've talked a little bit about grip and posture and swing plane and stuff. So what about alignment? How important is alignment?
Oh, it's number one.
It's number one. And so we haven't really talked about that much. But if you think about it, so we've got par threes, par fours, and par fives in the game of golf.
Correct. As far as I know.
As far as you know. There's some par sixes out there, actually.
But nobody likes those courses.
So most of the time, if you're on a par four or par five, you're hitting to a fairway. And it's a target-oriented game. But what are you hitting to in the fairway? You know, there's a huge fairway out there, but are we actually like aiming towards something? So I think it's important to use landmarks as, you know, if you're hitting a tee shot on a par four, par five, maybe use a pine tree, a cell phone tower, somebody's roof, you know, or whatever, like alignment down.
A Chinese spy balloon that's floating in the air.
Chinese spy balloon, yeah, it could be whatever.
Right? You
right?
never know.
Yeah, so yeah, we're target oriented from 150 yards in, but think about, you know, tee box to fairway. We don't get so much target oriented, and I think that's where we miss a lot of our fairways. So. Also using your left shoulder if you're a right-handed golfer. That's the only part of your body that you can use as an alignment tool is your left shoulder.
But so you don't want that left shoulder pointing at your target.
You do not. That's exactly right. Yeah, you want it aimed slightly left because that's part of your stance line. Yeah, your left shoulder is part of your stance line.
Yep. The line that you use for aiming is where your ball and your club is, because that's obviously where you're hitting.
That's your target line.
Yeah, it's your target line. And then you want your body line, if you're watching live on Facebook, I'm sticking 2 pens up. You got your target line, and then you got your body line. The body line doesn't need to point at the target, because if it does, that's going to mess up your swing plane in relation to your target line.
Right.
Trying to keep it as simple as possible. So you want your body line, which is comprised of 3 things: your feet, your hips, and your shoulders. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Those all need to be in alignment with each other, and that line needs to be parallel to your target line.
Yep.
I know we've talked about that. This is kind of like if anybody ever asked me for a swing tip or something like that, it was always my go-to first thing, besides your grip and your posture, which are very, very important. But alignment is very misunderstood in the game of golf, because everybody thinks that, how many times have you seen somebody take the club and put it along their hips and point it where they're trying to go?
Right.
It's a disaster waiting to happen, because you're not hitting the golf ball where your feet, feet and your hips and your shoulders are, that golf ball is out in front of you where the club extends to.
That's right.
So if you do that, you're going to get your swing plane all wacky because your mind knows where your target is when you get set up to it.
Yeah.
But a great point. I mean, how many times do you see people laying up on par fives and fairways and they end up missing the fairway or hitting a bad shot because they're not aiming at a target?
Yeah, I mean, you get so infatuated with the fairway. It's like that fairway is 40 yards wide, and you're probably looking at 40. Miss small. Right? You want to miss small. And so, yeah, it's huge. I mean, I've just even gotten to where, like, if you're at the driving range at Bay Point, there is a cell phone tower, like, directly in line, like, way down. I mean, if you're hitting golf balls at Bay Point, try to hit golf balls towards that cell phone tower in the background. Just have something, especially with a driver, because, our flags only go out to about, 220 yards or so. So
yeah. Well, and that's another great point. When you're practicing, you got to practice to a target.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just wasting time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you're not practicing to a target, you don't know, where you're missing potentially.
Yep.
So number 5 is a great example of a target off the tee. You got that palm tree sitting right there in the middle of the fairway. Aim at that palm tree, and if you draw it a little bit, you're perfectly fine. Now, if you do cut the ball a little bit, aim at the 150 stake.
There you go.
Plenty of landing area out there, that's for sure.
Yep.
Speaking of golf, do you know what's coming up this week as well besides the whatever the PGA Tour tournament is this week?
Ooh, I do not, Ryan.
Little fun fact for you guys. I'm going to get both y'all's opinion on this one. It is the next edition of the Match. You remember the Match? They've been doing it since, I want to say since 2018. I've got some history here as well. Yeah, the first one was back on November 23rd, 2018. You had Tiger Woods facing off against Phil Mickelson in a match play competition. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say that was played at Wolf Creek in Nevada.
Okay.
Not 100% on that one, but I definitely feel like...
We just had a match between JT and Rory. Who was it? Was it JT and Jordan Spieth versus Tiger? And wasn't this past year? It was at night, right? Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was.
I think the last one, wasn't it Mahomes and Allen versus...
Yes.
No, he's actually right. Jay's actually right. Back on December 10th, 2022, you had Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth versus Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods. Now, the one coming up on the 29th, which I believe, is that Friday? Today's the 26th. The 29th is Thursday. That'll be on TNT. You've got another big. This is all professional athletes, non-golfers in this one. So you got Steph Curry and Klay Thompson that are playing Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. That's coming up again. That's on the 29th. And your odds right now, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are minus 265. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce are plus 225. So Curry and Thompson are certainly a big favorite in this one. And I think that's mainly because Steph Curry's a pretty good golfer.
Yeah.
He's played on some Korn Ferry Tour events and has done pretty decently. Again, they've been playing the last few at the Wynn Golf Club there in Las Vegas. They're going to be playing, it's match play, which is cool. But then they're going to be playing a shamble, which is what we've talked about a few times. Shamble is where you each tee off, you select the best drive, and then you play your own ball out from there. So obviously, puts a premium on some good tee shots, but gives you a little bit of flexibility as well. What do you think about this kind of stuff, Jay and David? Do you think it's good for the game of golf, or what do you think?
Oh, absolutely, yes. I love seeing, NBA guys, NFL guys, whatever it may be, out there playing the game. They're kind of one of us a little bit. You kind of get that feeling of
on the golf course. Yeah.
And I love the mic'd up versions. I mean, I'm really liking the whole, the pros walking down the fairway with the mics and kind of getting in their head as they walk down the fairway and stuff. So
I'm guessing Charles is going to be covering, Barkley is going to be covering this as well, which always makes it a lot of fun because he doesn't hold back.
Yeah. Too bad Phil can't be involved with this again because he's great at that
They should do that on like a pay-per-view one where they can say whatever they want.
Yeah.
A little more. But yeah, David, what do you think about these kind of things?
From my perspective, and I'm really more interested like in Jay and what you think as well, but from my perspective, I absolutely love it. And I've asked guys like Alan Watson, it's like, they like it, but they also would much rather watch professional golfers, or at least that's the take that I come away with when I talk to Alan about it. But I do think that it's good for golf. I think Alan thinks it's good for golf as well. And it's a lot of fun for me because I like watching these guys in the regular sport. Yeah. And then, even watching professionals when they mess up, it's kind of like I don't know, you can sympathize and empathize with them a little bit because you mess up. Well, I mess up a ton out there, so that's interesting. And then you see, a bunch of steps down from a pro golfer and a professional athlete, and how good they can hit it, but also how bad.
Yeah.
And you kind of learn about them as well when you're getting into their head, if you will, from the mic'd up portion of the event. So it's a lot of fun, and I think this one's going to be, I don't want to say the best of them, but from my perspective, being that there's no pro golfers makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that one. I like the ones better that don't have a PGA Tour or a professional golfer in it because, these guys are the top athletes in their respective sports, and to see them come over to the golf world, I mean, obviously some of them play pretty decently, but it's nice to see that kind of normalcy. You put these guys up, the best of the best in their sports, and then you put them on a golf course, and it just shows how difficult and humbling golf could be. But
I mean, if you can shoot a 3 or shoot a free throw, but then like Charles Barkley can't pull the club back, it makes no sense to me. I really don't get it, but it'll be cool to see all this. I'm excited Thursday night.
Again, so Thursday night on TNT, that is going to be a little, all non-professional golfers. You got Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. And what's cool about this one, and I don't know if the previous ones. Yeah, is this the first? This might be the first teammates
this
one.
This is the first
which is really cool because I can't wait to hear them kind of like maybe jab each other a little bit or, have some fun because, like you said, last year was Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth versus Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods. Great.
Yeah.
They play professional golf all the time. Now, Tiger being in there is a little different story.
Yeah.
And then you had the one where you had Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. I think Brady and Rodgers won that one, and I remember Aaron Rodgers kind of played lights out, was making all sorts of putts on that one.
That's kind of what I don't want to say confused by, but there's no way, I can't believe that Travis Kelce is that good at golf. Like that good at golf. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I think the team of Curry and Thompson is such a heavy favorite in this one.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes can play pretty decently, but I've never seen Travis Kelce play, so that'll be interesting.
They're going to be the entertainment.
Oh, yeah. Kelce will definitely be the entertainment side of that, and I can't wait to see the cross sport and like that one we just said, Brady and Rodgers and Mahomes and Allen, obviously, not teammates, but all quarterbacks in the NFL, and now you've got basketball players playing against football players.
See, and that's what I would love to see is like a little small tournament of who's the best in the NBA, who's the best in the NFL, who's the best in the NHL and the MLB, and then, maybe have like a small tournament of 8 teams in each of the leagues, and then they work their way in, and then you get the Final Four, MLB versus NBA, NHL, or whatever you got to do to get it done. But that would be interesting.
I give these guys props though because in their particular sport, like they have no flaws. I mean, like very few flaws. And if you watch Thursday night, you're going to see their flaws. And so I give them props for
kind of
showing America
out there a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, the first one started with like I said, Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson back in 2018, and then the next year or 2 years later, because of COVID, you had Tiger Woods and Peyton Manning versus Phil Mickelson and Tom Brady. Tiger Woods and Peyton won that one, and then the same year later on in the year, you had Peyton Manning and Steph Curry versus Phil Mickelson and Charles Barkley. Which that one was a little confusing to me because you had Phil in there, who's obviously one of the best golfers of all time, which I thought gave them a pretty significant advantage. They weren't favored to win it. They were plus 138. Manning and Curry were minus 175, but they got it done. Then you had Aaron Rodgers and Bryson DeChambeau in July of 2021, and they took on Phil Mickelson and Tom Brady. Ended up winning that one. Aaron Rodgers is a pretty good golfer. It's because he's got all the psychedelics kind of calming him down on the golf course.
Yeah.
That's what we all need.
Absolutely.
Does that work better than the liquid libations?
I don't know. I don't know the crashing point. I've never indulged in the psychedelics.
Phil Shomo.
Yeah, next time we get Phil on there, we'll ask him, what do you think about just
alcohol?
Yeah. Well, I know I think it was I don't know which Instagram golf guys it was, but they did one recently where they had one guy was drinking, one guy was smoking marijuana, and the other guy was doing psychedelics. I don't know the result of it, but I'm going to throw out there and say the drinking guy probably got that one, or the marijuana guy.
I think the dimples and the ball would freak you out. Like
where's the flag stick?
How are you going to find the ball after you hit it? Because you probably just saw 4 to 5 balls fly in different directions.
You need some caddies, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But But I don't think we'll be testing that out at Bay Point Golf Club anytime soon. But I think that the match is certainly an exciting thing, that's for sure. And it's nice to, mix up. And they're kind of in between their, mini camps and the mandatory and training camp, which is coming up here in about a month. So we had our own little match out at Bay Point Golf Club on Friday. We were talking about it on Friday. We talked about it on Thursday as well. But they had the Bay Point Bash father-son scramble. Now, we had a lot of people comment on the Facebook post saying, hey, if I knew about this, I wanted to get in. It was kind of a little thing that Chris Kramer's son organized, but the next time we do one, we're kind of open it up a little bit, because apparently there's tons of father-son teams that want a little bit of the action.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Especially me and Liam.
The
only thing that's tough for Liam playing from the 4 tees might be a challenge, because that'd be a long way for him only being 8 years old.
Yeah. I think 80 win it, I believe.
Yeah, it was the team of Max McCord and Max McCord Jr. shot a little 80.
Yep.
2-person scramble.
That's good.
Which I thought was super impressive.
Yeah.
Especially Max playing from all the kids played from the 4 tees, and all the dads played from the number 2 tees.
Right.
So that's no easy task on a 2-person scramble.
Not at all.
I mean, I don't know if we did a 2-person scramble, if we both played from the 2s, I'd be hard pressed to think we'd shoot maybe 68, 69, something like that.
Probably.
Depends on how well you're driving the ball.
Yeah, probably. I think that would probably be good enough, yeah.
But you had an 80, an 82, an 83, an 88, an 89, and then Mark McKinney, our good friend out there, lives on hole 11. I'm not going to put that out there, Mark, but everybody knows that.
Yeah.
He went out there. He saw the Facebook post from me with with Dawson Knox and all that, and then he stalked him down on 11 when he was playing and got a ball signed for his kids.
There you go.
I was like, my bad, Dawson, but I think he's pretty cool about it.
He is, yeah.
And that's part of it. You've got an opportunity to make an impression on a lot of these young men and women out there. And, it's part of, I don't want to say part of your duty, but I think, part of what is, kind of enhancing your game and building those relationships. So
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. That's where it's at.
But we'll be the next one we'll be announcing, and we'll make it more of a public event and get some 2-person. I like the scramble format though. Scramble format's perfect. I think if I do this with Liam, if I don't hit good shots, I feel like he's going to ride me hard. So maybe that'll make me play better. Maybe it'll make me not play better. I don't know.
Well, mark it down. I think this is really going to turn into a very big thing out there at Bay Point. I really do. I mean, just to see the feedback from the other father and sons just through Facebook and stuff, man, this could be something special. I mean, I think it's always great, obviously, to get out with your son and play golf and all that good stuff. So, can't wait to see when the next one is. You guys stay tuned.
Yes,
stay tuned.
Absolutely. And we'll probably just call it, parent-child. Moms, daughters, dads, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen and just have a lot of fun with it. That's for sure.
You're discriminating against the childless. What if I go adopt for a day or something?
Hey, you want to do that? There you go. And you enter, you're in.
I'm going to go.
If anybody's out there,
borrow Charlie. For a little while.
There you go. If you can pull that off,
there you go.
We'll just go ahead and give you guys the dub to begin with, because he'll go out there and shoot 68 on his own balls.
Who are we talking about?
Charlie Woods.
Oh, Charlie Woods.
Yeah. We went from here to there very, very quickly.
Yeah.
David bringing the heat with the adoption, and Charlie
just
Woods.
For a day, though.
Just for a day. He only wants you for a day. Then you got to go back home.
I need to see the birth certificate, David.
You don't see the resemblance, man? Come on.
That's right.
Pretty much big shout out to Keith Dimmick. He's got Special Olympics July 1st over there in Pensacola.
Cool. Yeah, way to go, Keith.
Yeah.
So okay.
I haven't seen Keith in a while.
I haven't. I've been so busy. I hope to get back on Tuesday afternoons in the Special Olympics. But that's great stuff, man. Yeah, keep doing it.
Keep it on out there, Keith.
Absolutely.
All right, we do have a break coming up. When we get back, we'll talk about some professional golf and the results from this past weekend at the Travelers Championship. Later on today, we're going to jump into that College World Series final game. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the Inside Drive.
That's what's so great about playing sports is you have an opportunity to, hit and win a game or catch a football or throw a football or make a game-winning shot in basketball. You're either somebody who wants to be in that moment or somebody who doesn't want to be in the moment. And the people that are want to be in that moment are the ones, we end up
Join Ryan Mulvey.
Thank you very little.
Middays 11 to 1 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Did you know that fees associated with real estate closings are virtually virtually the same from one title company to the next. So what sets South Oak Title apart? Effective communication, customer service, expertise, and technology. If you're buying or selling real estate, refinancing a residential or commercial property, tell your realtor you want to close with South Oak Title. South Oak Title, with locations across the Southeast, including Panama City Beach, Inlet Beach, Destin, and Fort Walton Beach. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
Signworks, a business serving businesses since 1985. Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Back to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
It's alive! Look alive! We're alive!
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
Chicken.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Jay, if you never would have said chicken head last week, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Hey, yeah,
and for that, I am thankful.
It just reminds me. It's so funny how we were talking about that, and like we knew a guy.
What was his name?
I can't. We just called him Chicken Head, but he fixed air conditioners in a very bad section of a town in Georgia. I'll say that. And so every time he would be the only guy that would go down this street to fix people's air conditioners. And so he would you could see him fixing air conditioners, but he was bobbing his head up and down, just making sure that he wasn't going to get mugged or whatever. So we called him Chicken Head because you could see his head.
Makes perfect sense.
It does. Yeah. So anyways,
now if you only knew about Project Pat, he may have been jamming out to that too. You don't even know.
He could have. That would be phenomenal. That'd be a great Instagram video of Chicken Head doing
listening to Chicken Head.
That's right.
While fixing air conditioning.
Yes, sir.
I feel like you need to make that happen.
Yeah, I think so. I need to find him.
You need to get back on the horn and get with him and make this happen.
You got that right.
But with all that being said, you are listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida, sitting inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios. It's Billfish Week, and it's coming up hard. It's coming up fast, and we're ready for it. We're excited to play some golf on Wednesday, and then hopefully we'll see a giant fish come in sometime either Friday night or Saturday night.
Get those scales ready.
That's when those weigh-ins are, Friday night and Saturday night, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., and then Sunday, bright and early. Well, not bright and early, but 10:30, the award ceremony. All that prize money will be given away, and we'll be excited to see what transpires. Travelers Championship this week, Jay. Keegan Bradley sets a tournament record by one shot, shooting 23 under par for 4 rounds. And every Wednesday we have Keith Fleming on, and he breaks down the DraftKings lineups, bets to win, all that good stuff. And, he was right on. This was a birdie fest. The scores that these guys were shooting were just unbelievable. Cool to see Keegan Bradley win. It was his 6th win on tour. I can't remember the last time he's won, but I think it's been a little while. But he goes out and shoots 62, 63, 64, and then stumbles a little bit, well, for lack of a better term, and shoots 68 on Sunday. He did make a couple bogeys coming in, which made it maybe a little bit interesting. On his way in, he bogeyed 3 out of his last 5 holes. So he would have absolutely crushed that tournament record had he not done that. But, that's what happens, in I want to get your thoughts on a few different things. And, Rory McIlroy was kind of vocal after the tournament saying, I really wish we didn't play golf courses like this. I mean, it was 6,800 yards, which is very short for PGA Tour standards. However, it was a par 70, but make it a par 72, and maybe that adds, another 200 yards at the most?
Yeah.
So 7,000 yards for a wet, soft PGA Tour golf course, and these guys just absolutely ate it apart. I don't know if I've ever seen so many rounds in the low 60s before.
Well, it's and we'll talk a little bit. We talk a little bit about NASCAR on here, but NASCAR's turned into a little bit of a road course and then an oval. Then you have your super speedways, your short track. Golf is very it's been all about distance. It's all been about this course is 7,600 yards. I think this past week, at 6,800 yards, I think this is what golf needs.
Yeah,
I mean it really does.
So you like the birdie fests and them kind of dominating the courses a little bit more?
I do. I like it being a little bit more strategic, and it gives these like if we have a 350-yard par 4, I love how we can either, those guys can either go 5-iron gap wedge in, or let's see if we can hit driver up there and try to get that. The risk reward on those golf courses are phenomenal. It's great for viewing, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think, if it would have been a little closer coming down the stretch, probably would have been a little bit more exciting. But yeah, I mean, I like when they have to, make all these birdies and all that stuff. And you like to see them grind it out a little bit and struggle, which we didn't really see at the U.S. Open the previous week. But yeah, I mean, what are you looking for in golf? Are you looking for a bunch of birdies? Are you looking for these guys to struggle? And I think if you can find that mix, that's where they succeed. But Rory, I mean, is Rory saying that if he goes out and, wins this tournament at 25 under?
Yeah, no, he's not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Because why would you say something like that after you just won something? But I mean, he didn't have a bad tournament. I'm trying to find where he was on the leaderboard. I mean, nothing outstanding, but just what's crazy about this one, 10 under par is tied for 38th. That's some good golf.
Wow, that is. Yeah, geez.
That's where it's all about making birdies. I was trying to find Rory. I want to say he was kind of close to the top.
Yeah, I thought he was like third, wasn't he?
Was he?
Yeah, it's he might have faded off a little bit. Oh, there. Okay, that's Ricky. Where the heck is Rory? Did they pull him off the leaderboard?
Is it up? We need some more strong words against Liv before we include your
Okay, there he is.
here.
My bad. I just can't read. I'm not very good at that reading thing. He was tied 7th. He was 18 under. He shot 68, 64, 66, 64 to finish tied 7th in the Travelers Championship.
Okay.
Yeah. But a couple guys came close. Scotty Scheffler, again, top 5. This guy is just, that was such an evil laugh.
Yeah, well, no, because, every Sunday, he could be, 10th, 20th or whatever, and then he just starts working his way up there. And I know that those leaders got to start trembling a little bit when you see Scheffler working his way up the leaderboard.
Yeah, I was trying to get this year's stats. Go ahead, Jay.
Our caller that comes in, better known as Hef, he sent me something the other day about Scotty Scheffler.
In a while.
He's going to be in studio Thursday.
Oh,
yeah, he's going to be in studio Thursday,
dropping some bombs. I can't wait to talk to him about the PGA Tour Live merger.
Yeah, and
how he feels.
He'll be down. Yeah, he'll be down here with Wayne Jolly, who listens to us every day up in Atlanta. And so yeah, it'll be great, man. Hopefully we can get him in the studio Thursday. That's the plan. But where was I going with that?
I have no idea.
Hefner. Yeah. So Hef sent me in a little thing about how Scotty Scheffler kind of looked like Statler off the Muppet Show. And if you do look at Statler, if you Google Statler from the Muppet Show, he does kind of look like Scheffler.
Because you will see nothing different when you look at Scotty Scheffler every time. But, Scotty Scheffler's season, he's played in 18 events in the wraparound 2022-2023 season. He's won twice. He's had one runner-up. He's finished top 10 in 14 of the 18 events he's played in. Just unbelievable golf this guy's playing. Top 25, 17 of the 18 events, and of course he's made the cut in every tournament he's played. That equates to him winning $18,548,392 on this PGA Tour's season. But what's crazy, with all that being said, he's second on the FedEx Cup list.
He's so forgettable, though, Ryan. Like, I've already forgot about him now.
Well, except for the Muppet comparison.
Well, that's true. That's why I'm trying to, that's true.
Good comparison, by the way.
That was spot on.
Spot on.
Can't wait to talk to you on Thursday in the studio.
He's got some good ones.
That's pretty cool. But do you know who's leading the FedEx Cup? Not to put you on the spot, but I'm sure you can figure it out.
Who is leading the FedEx Cup? Oh, my gosh. I don't have a clue.
I'm going to ask David. Who's leading the FedEx Cup, David?
I'm going to say either Rahm or Scheffler, but Rahm.
Yep. Well, I did just say Scheffler was number 2, so Rahm is correct.
Okay.
Well, David knows more about golf than you do.
I'm trying to work on my J, too, at the same time and throw out some wrong answers.
Yeah, that's good. And you got me earlier with the Bill comment.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm feeling, but yeah. So Rahm has played in 16 events, 2 less events than Scotty Scheffler did. He's won 4 times. That's the big difference. He's got 1 runner-up, 9 top 10s in those 16 events. So hasn't done as well consistently, I guess, if you want to compare that. And then he's had 11 top 25s. He made 14 cuts in those 16 events. He missed 1, and he had a WD from another one. So,
gotcha.
But he's made less money than Scotty Scheffler, $15,210,983, but is leading the FedEx Cup with 3,117 points.
He stays quiet and gets the job done. I mean, don't you think that's why he's kind of stays outside the media a little bit, doesn't he? I mean,
he definitely does, and especially after all the Live merger stuff, he kind of was a little quieter because I think he felt a little. I think him as one of the guys felt the most when that merger happened. Besides Rory, because Rory was kind of the poster child for that thing. But Rahm, he probably had an opportunity to go over there. I mean, I'm sure they were offering him hundreds of millions of dollars, and being from Spain and being from Europe, I'm sure he thought heavily of that. And then when he found out the merger happened, he was probably, a little bit upset. But I think it's definitely, you got Scotty Scheffler, Jon Rahm are definitely the 2 guys dominating the tours. Max Homa, Victor Hovland having good years as well. And, Rory's having another good year as well again. So that'll, FedEx Cup's not that far away as far as the playoffs that are coming up, which usually start that right around August 1st. They try to get all 3 of those done before the NFL and college football gets kicked off. Top 70 make that FedEx St. Jude Championship, and then they cut down to the top 50 at the BMW Championship, and then, as you know, Jay, the top 30 always compete up there in Atlanta at the Tour Championship at East Lake Golf Club, which if you've ever had a chance to go to the Tour Championship, it's really not that hard to get tickets. I mean, they're not that expensive, but the Tour Championship, because you've only got 30 people in it, it doesn't get huge crowds, so it's a great opportunity to get up close and personal with a lot of these guys. And just a fun one. We used to live in just across the border in South Carolina. We went a few times. It's a good tournament to go to.
It is. It's a great one.
It's a fun golf course. Got some Bermuda and some Zoysia grass as well mixed in on their fairways. I think all their fairways are Zoysia, and then they have Bermuda around the collars, which is that's why it's got those pretty stripes.
Is that par 3 on the water? Is that the front or the back? I can't remember.
That used to be 18. Now it's 9. They reversed
them.
The front 9 and the back 9. I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And so number 10 is actually when you got to go past the clubhouse, and 10 is going up the hill, on the left there next to the road, and then 1's back on the other side.
And then there's one, a par 3 out there on the lake where, man, I mean, it's like 215, 220, and it is nothing but green and water.
So it's the back 9 now. That would be because then you got 1, 2, 3 more coming in. So it would be now the 15th hole.
Yep. Yeah,
brutal hole.
Brutal.
Just a tiny little green sticking out there on the water, and you hit back there from the tees. I mean, the wind's blowing it all. It's just it's a tough hole. But now you've got number 18, that par 5, which used to be number 9, is just a great finishing hole where somebody can make an eagle to win the tournament. And I really like how they switched that. It was always kind of classic having that 18th hole be the par 3.
Yeah.
But I like in a golf tournament, especially when it could be to win the FedEx Championship and win that $10 million or whatever it is now. It may be more, I'm not sure. But have an opportunity to win it versus make a bad swing on a par 3 and lose it. How's that make you feel?
No, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, so now the last hole is it's the par 5, right? Got
way down the hill. It's got the water out there, and the clubhouse is in the background.
I like
it. Got to hit a smooth little cut in there. Hit it close. A lot of people dump it in that front bunker to try to get up and down for that birdie.
I mean, I've only played one other golf course that ends with the par 3, and that's Idlehour Golf Club up in Macon. It's a pretty, prestigious club up there, but that's the only. Is there any other clubs that come to mind that finish with the par 3.
One that I worked at, Deal Golf and Country Club.
No way.
Up there in New Jersey on the north end of the Jersey Shore. Old Donald Ross course built in 1898 is when it was built in. Ends on a par 3. And it's pretty crazy. It makes it fun, and it was right behind the clubhouse. Is this huge old historic building, and 18's a little bit downhill, par 3, so everybody in the dining room or on the back can see you hitting. But it has this monster ridge right in the middle of the green. Big old ridge. So if the pin's behind it, you got to putt up and over it if you hit it short, and then vice versa. Just a cool finishing hole. A lot of money was won or lost on that particular hole. But ironically, the par 4 before that, 17, which was a great par 4, water all down the right, is where we always did the shootout and stuff like that for the number guys. So, but yeah, that probably is the only golf course I can ever remember playing that finished on a par 3 as well.
At least you have witnesses if you do have a hole-in-one and you're playing by yourself.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
if you get them to pay attention. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Yeah,
no doubt about that. When we get back, I want to. Jay's got some exciting news. He may be divorcing his Atlanta Falcons. Yes, sir, David.
1 minute.
Oh, thank you. I thought he was giving me the old, hey, I got something to say about finishing on a par 3. It was like, I played tons of courses that finish on a par 3. All those mini golf courses typically are par 3s. So
yeah, par 2s and par 3s. Nature Walk ends on a par 3.
See, there you go.
Sometimes we turn it into a par 5, though, and just play from 17 and use the 18th green.
Oh, I like that. I never played Nature Walk. I heard it's a fun track to play.
I mean, it's like a par 62, so it's like a par 3, essentially.
Yeah, but you got some 4s and 5s. Switch
no
5s. No 5s?
But every par 4, like for you guys, would be reachable.
Yeah.
Easily.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about him. Me, for sure.
He's 5 years younger than me, so he's
Hey, age is just a number. It's all about raw power.
Nothing but a number, baby.
That's it. That's it. Well, that minute probably went a little bit down now. When we get back, you got to announce your big Falcons, whatever you want to call it. But you got to stay tuned to make sure you hear it. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
Wyndham Clark, though, winning the U.S. Open 10 under. He was 241st in the world last year, the day after the 2022 U.S. Open. But since then, he's won twice, and he's won more than $8 million in earnings just in the last 6 weeks here. What'd you think of Wyndham Clark?
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Monday. Possible thunderstorms and partly cloudy this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze at 14 miles per hour coming out of the southwest and temps near 87. We will have partly cloudy skies tonight and be quite warm at 80. And partly sunny much of the day, but with a chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening tomorrow and a high 87. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hi folks, I'm Tracy from Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Shopping for the perfect diamond can be difficult, but that's why I've trained my staff to offer you a stress-free diamond experience. Me and my I Do crew have 50 years experience, and we have more certified diamonds in stock at the best prices in town. So if you're tired of high-pressure salespeople, come see me, your diamond girl, and my I Do crew at Tracy's Fine Jewelry, because we don't work on commissions. We work for smiles and I Do's.
Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, this is Tim.
Do y'all sell bait?
Yes, we seasonally stock live shrimp, live bull minnows, live sand fleas, live fiddler crabs, earthworms, night crawlers, crickets. We also stock frozen shrimp, sand fleas, mullets, squid, pre-rigged ballyhoo, bonita, stingray, cigar minnows, Boston mackerel, Spanish mackerel, and a few other miscellaneous baits. It's worth the drive to buy premium locally sourced bait from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WVLQ Port St. Joe.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The only place to get sports betting coverage on the radio. Is this legal? Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. It's the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Sitting inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios. Don't forget, coming up at 12:40 after our 12:20 segment, during that break, you're going to want to give us a call to have a chance to win a round of golf for you and another player at Bay Point Golf Club. You got to play high-low. You got to guess the number what I shot this past weekend on the golf course. If you get it right, you're going to win yourself a round of golf for you and a friend. And if you call in and you're the 10th caller, we may give you something cool too as well. So you want to make sure you're tuning in to us the whole show, but importantly in that break at coming into the 12:40 spot, so you can give us a call and get yourself a chance to play some high-low. Jay, you've got some exciting news that you want to share with us, right? I thought this was really exciting and a great idea.
Yeah, like I've been thinking, we're in the off season. We're kind of not a lot going on in the sports world.
Training camp's coming up here for the NFL here in about 30 days or so.
Yeah, and I was thinking, and it's been going on for a while, but I'm divorcing my Atlanta Falcons.
I think it's time. Sometimes you just got to make that decision and pull the Band-Aid.
Absolutely. So I've got I wrote the agreement. The agreement is the divorce agreement is made and entered into the 26th day of June, 2023.
Do you have a lawyer for this?
I do.
Okay, all right.
Yep. Sports attorney lawyer.
We just got to get it notarized, that's all.
Yeah, that's it. But the petitioner, Jay Henley, residing in Panama City Beach, Bay County, Florida. The respondent, Atlanta Falcons, residing in Atlanta, Georgia, Fulton County, Georgia. The petitioner and respondent were married to each other on or about the 15th day of March, 1993, in Fulton County. The petitioner and respondent separated on or about the 27th day of April, 2023, when the Falcons decided to choose Bijan Robinson as a draft pick. So that was the separation.
That's what makes this document. That's what you needed to get out of this relationship was that moment right there.
That was the separation.
Makes
moment.
sense.
Now, 1998, we went 14-2, won the NFC West. I mean, it was good. We were in the Dome then.
Yeah, it was only what?
Yeah, I graduated high school in 98.
Yeah, so. 25 years ago ish.
Yeah.
Ballpark.
So we're just not seeing eye to eye. Like Arthur Blank is. All about spending the money.
Sometimes it's not about money either in these divorce agreements.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, he walks around in his $50,000 suit, and each Sunday, and I want an owner that's in the jersey, man, like one of us, and he's not playing that part, but. So this divorce has become final today, and I know over the weekend, we had a Bill in town, but that's not one of the reasons why I am choosing Buffalo Bills as my new sports.
Right, you heard it here. David's so disappointed.
For real, like you just went to Yankee Town.
I did.
There's nothing wrong with Yankee Town. Bills Mafia and PCB.
There you go, baby. There you go. But no, my son's been part of the Bills for the last couple years, so I will. We talked about relationships and how
this is
that's
like the opposite of that.
Yeah. This is the opposite of it.
So you became a Bills fan because of your son / your experiences, but also because of what the Atlanta Falcons have done to you over the last 42 years.
Man, I hope the Falcons win the NFC Championship this year.
There's no way in hell
I understand
that the Atlanta Falcons are going to win the NFC Championship.
They actually had a lot better of a season last year than what people anticipated.
They finished fairly strong. The NFC South can be one of the most competitive divisions out there.
I guess for trash teams, yes.
Yeah, for who's going to win it, I should
It'll
say.
Be like
not
the AFC South of last
year.
I mean, our relationship, we married in 93, and then in 98, they took us to the big dance, I mean, things were jiving. And the last 25 years, we've been sitting on the couch together, man. We just haven't, we haven't been out,
you were in the Super Bowl, what? 2018,
and that should be
That's what I thought would have kicked off this divorce.
Yeah,
was
28-3.
These are big decisions here.
I know. You can't take them lightly.
You can't take them lightly. So yeah, you've heard it. You've heard it here.
Yes.
Born and raised in Atlanta. I'm out.
Hey,
typical Falcons fan.
He hung on for a lot longer than most do, that's for sure.
Old school's broken up with the Falcons. I mean, it's just...
But not an official divorce.
I've never seen anything like this, and I love this.
Yes. So you're out.
I'm out.
You're now a Buffalo Bills fan.
Yep. Atlanta Braves, I'm game.
Well,
you know, like
No, I'll be talking with Snicker and the gang, and we're gonna send you a divorce letter.
They don't want you.
Snicker.
It's either
The manager.
Snickers. No Snickers for you. It's either all Atlanta or none. So, but no, yeah, I think that's.
Is that wise? You like that? Yeah.
I think you'll probably enjoy watching football a little more.
I
maybe.
think so too, man. I really do.
I still think you're gonna have a soft spot for the Falcons. You're just not gonna tell people. Don't be checking on those scores.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm finally going to a football stadium, an open air football stadium. That's what I like. I don't like domes. I really don't. And I know Mercedes-Benz can, retract, but it's
like that.
not the same.
No,
though.
it's not.
It's not.
It's not. That retractable lens looking thing or whatever it may be.
Yeah,
is interesting. That's for sure. No, I like it. Hey. Sometimes you just got to make big decisions, and what do they say? That old phrase, you know what, or get off the pot, and
there you go.
You made it happen. You divorced the Atlanta Falcons today. I'm surprised Keith hasn't texted us while we were talking about this. Keith Fleming, being the big time Atlanta Falcons fan, he
may disown me. He may,
but he's going to agree with the Bijan Robinson thing.
He did.
He went off on that particular thing.
He
so, yeah. But
I'm a Titans fan, and look who they drafted. Will Levis.
Yeah, after they took, what's his face?
Skoronsky?
No, last year.
Oh, last
quarterback.
year, Malik Willis.
Yeah, Malik Willis.
Who's looking better in camp right now than Will Levis is. Imagine that.
Yeah, because he's been there for a year. And that's usually how it works.
Yeah, no, 100%. But gosh, that was just a waste of a pick, Will Levis. A waste of a pick. At least Bijan Robinson will bring some value.
Maybe.
Will Levis is going to be sitting there on the bench.
Yeah. Now I hear you. Sometimes your team trades all your picks away and gives the Dolphins a superstar team, and you don't even play the quarterback. So, which I'm over.
49ers.
I'm over that now because I feel. If we don't win this year, not to go on an NFL tangent, but if this is the year we don't make it to the Super Bowl, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
We are loaded.
Back-to-back years of divorces on the inside drive?
No, I could never divorce the Niners. I got too much invested in my kids. It's about the kids. I can't divorce the team when my kids are involved.
There you go. That's why he's got a divorce.
Yeah,
well, I just know that
because his kid's a Buffalo Bills fan, so makes sense.
But I just knew. I mean, I saw it. Up in Atlanta, you've got all these people like Keith. I mean, Keith is a ticket holder that every year, every Sunday they're going there. Well, the last few years they'll raise the price, but the record's not there. I mean, they're not performing. So you can't raise the price on your value ticket holders and expect them to keep coming.
Somebody's got to pay for that stadium.
Well, that's true.
The Braves are raising their prices for 2024 like by 21% or so.
Are they really?
Even for season ticket holders and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I guess when you have 3, 4, 5, 6 years of success like that, I guess you can make those calls, but not a huge fan of that.
But I was talking about the Falcons, though.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying that the Braves are, too, so you might be off that bandwagon, too, shortly.
Yeah, if that's your reasoning.
No, not
I did see something, I think I sent it to you. It's in that group text message, not to pivot to baseball, but that's about to happen. So, we're talking about payrolls and all that stuff, and the Cincinnati Reds, they've got $25 million to Joey Votto. Will Myers is getting $6 million, and then Ken Griffey Jr. is getting paid $3.6 million a year. He's the third highest paid player on the Reds payroll this season. When's the last time he played? Years and years ago?
2006 or 7.
So how does that work, David? I know that there's a lot of baseball players. Like, who's it? Is it Kirby? There's another guy, somebody that's been paid for a long. Bobby Bonilla.
He's the one that's
kind of the famous one for that.
Famous one for that. The Braves last year made their final payment to Bruce Sutter. Yeah. They've been doing so. It's like every team has one of these, but the Mets get the they get dug for this, essentially.
Because of that one.
Yeah, which, I mean, I'm all good for. Anytime anyone wants to take a dig at the Mets, go after it. But, yeah, Bobby Bonilla, so basically they get so for Ken Griffey Jr. until, I don't know how long his deferred payment is. I don't think he's got maybe 5 more years on it, but I'll double-check that. He gets a check of $3.6 six
million. Now, do
year.
they just defer that payment to help with whatever the current salary that they're trying to do is? They kind of kick that down the road to be able to actually have players playing on your team.
And I don't know the specific reasoning with Ken Griffey Jr., but you'll front load contracts sometimes, you'll back load contracts sometimes, and it is the majority of the time is to try to keep your nucleus intact.
Well, I know the Braves are, right now with their group that they have, I think, I forget which team it was, but there was one team that 2 players were guarding like $73 million in salary cap, and then like Olsen, Acuna.
Oh, it's probably the Mets you're talking about, Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer.
Exactly, yes. Like $73 million in cap space that they're taking up, and then the Braves have like 5 or 6 guys that's actually less than that. But I know that's going to change because you're not going to be able to keep everybody for those prices, and that's probably going all the way back to the season ticket prices increasing 21%.
Yeah,
because you're going to have to pay your players.
Well, David just opened my eyes there. I didn't even think about that, but front loading and back loading. I mean, that makes sense then now that some of these players are getting paid because I guess they have that option.
It's guaranteed contracts too that make this big difference.
Well, this is actually the last year for Ken Griffey Jr.
There you go.
Or next year is 2024.
Gotcha. One more year to pay him. Yeah, unlike that's why NFL, Arthur Banks and all that, you don't see that as much because you can't guarantee the contracts as much because of the injuries and that kind of stuff. But I don't think there's any NFL teams that are still paying former players. There might be. Who knows?
Right.
Jay, why don't you tell us a little bit about the NASCAR world? I know we just went completely divorcing the Falcons to NASCAR.
There you go.
Kind of goes hand in hand, though. So
no, I watched that race last night. It was so good to see a race. It's 1.3 mile oval on concrete under the lights in Nashville, and that venue hasn't been around too long on the circuit. But Ross Chastain came out on top. Smashed a watermelon right there on the concrete and continued to eat the watermelon in his interview last night.
What's the significance of the watermelon?
I guess it's a tradition. I thought that
kind of like the milk at the Indy 500.
No, they raised Ross Chastain and them. They live down here in Florida, and they got like a watermelon farm.
Oh, yeah. He called it a Georgia watermelon, but...
maybe he got the watermelon from Georgia, but I know they grow them down here in Florida.
Okay.
I know Jay got his peaches down in Georgia.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
JB,
sweet as a Georgia peach.
Thank you, David. Thank you. I got him back for the Bill comment earlier.
It'll be the end of the show, and then you'll let him know.
It's not there yet. But yeah, continue on.
Well, no, the big highlight to me, obviously, Chastain ran a pretty clean race last night, and
and he's notorious for being a little rough out there, right?
Yeah, me and David were talking before the show how him and he likes to be kind of a Kyle Busch, a little bit of a bully on the on the track, but it was a pretty clean race. But one thing that happened last night, Ryan Blaney. So we were talking about Earnhardt the other week and how he hit the wall and died, back in 01-02 at Daytona. Well, that actually made for the safer barrier along the concrete wall.
Yep.
And so last night, what happened? Ryan Blaney spins, hits one section of the track that didn't have the safer barrier, and Ryan Blaney explained it as it was the biggest hit that he's ever had in his whole entire life.
True.
So it's very interesting that NASCAR kind of missed this section of the track because it looked like it was coming into turn one, and it was there. I mean, somebody could hit somebody in a quarter panel and send them left. I mean, they should have been a safer barrier there, but yeah, it was interesting to hear how Ryan Blaney, and that's what 20 years ago these guys hit concrete walls.
Yeah,
I mean. So Ryan Blaney got a little taste of what a lot of these guys 20 years ago had to, they'd have to recover for 4 or 5 days and get back in a car, at the next track. And
and that's doing it with all the safe stuff they have in the car.
Exactly.
Now, too.
Yeah. I mean, you got the Hans device that helps protects your neck from breaking and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, it was a great race last night. I love the Sunday evening races. We don't get enough of them.
Yeah.
Sunday afternoons. I mean, you living in Florida and the sun's out. I mean, you're not going to sit
sun's
and watch.
Out, guns out.
There you go. You're not going to sit on a Sunday afternoon and watch NASCAR. At least I'm not. I'm either going to play golf or, go to the pool or something. But, Sunday night race was awesome.
That's cool. That's cool. So let me ask you this, being the NASCAR expert that you are, when you're doing a night race, obviously the surface is probably a little cooler.
Yep.
Does that make a difference with your tire wear and stuff like that?
It does. They typically, I think the cars are a little bit tighter in the corner. They can not use their tires as much. The conditions do change. And, if you ever listen to a NASCAR guy really talk about how his car handles and stuff, it'll blow right past you,
the
man.
physics and science that goes into it it was pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm sure, too, concrete versus asphalt. I'm sure concrete and asphalt have two completely different... Now, they have to use the same tires for every race, right?
They do.
So, probably just different wear and how often you have to pit and stuff like that. But,
but the turns there in Nashville are like 13-degree turns, and
so really have to slow down going into those turns.
And then 2 weeks from now, July 9th, you're at Atlanta, and man, they've changed that track. At Atlanta, it's restrictor plate racing, so they're going to be nose to tail all the way around. So it makes for a really good race.
So let me ask you this: restrictor plate, does that just make it so everybody tops out at the same speed?
Yeah, and it creates a draft. So there's like a piece of metal that goes.
I remember playing Sega back in the day at my friend's house, playing the NASCAR racing game, and they had the thing of the draft coming back.
That was cool, man. They took away that little red thing that showed where the draft was. That was really cool in the game.
See how I mentioned that was on my friend's Sega because I did not have Sega.
You didn't?
Nintendo and PlayStation.
Ah, there you go. Yeah.
NES.
Love Sega.
For life.
Oh, yeah. 16 gig. Was it 16 gig?
I guess. Yeah.
I can't remember.
Now you got more speed on your phone.
That's true.
Like phones from 10 years ago.
Yeah. But no, that restrictor plate racing, I guess they take a piece of metal and just restrict the airflow inside the intake manifold, and it keeps them bunched up. And Atlanta's never been that way. I grew up going to every race in Atlanta, and they would get so strung apart without commentary. You don't know who's leading the race.
Yeah.
They're so strung out. But man, I'm telling you, they fixed it. And if you want to go see good restrictor plate racing, go to Atlanta. Go to Atlanta.
So do you prefer the restrictor plate over non-restrictor plate?
I do. I like them in a pack. I like them, that's the strategy part. Like, hey, talk about dancing partners. Like, are these guys going to, go together around the track and use each other to go faster? Maybe, and that's where the villain hero thing kind of works, right? Like Ross Chastain, he's kind of got a little bit of a villain going on. He may not have some dancing partners that actually get him around the track. They may try to hey, look, you're not partnering up with me in this draft. So it's cool stuff.
A lot into it. That's
it is.
For sure.
It is.
That is for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to dive in a little harder here, especially as we're going out of all sports this next couple of weeks. So before we get to football, but your current standings right now, you got William Byron is first in the projected playoffs in the NASCAR Cup Series standings, and then Martin Truex Jr. Like I said, he's from Dirty Jers.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, he looks like you too. He's got the beard and everything, man. So y'all twins.
Maybe I am Martin Truex.
Maybe
Jr.
you are.
I just don't know. I was up there in Nashville this weekend. I was not playing golf. And then you got Kyle Busch. You gotta love to hate him. He's third in the standings. Ross Chastain has jumped up to fourth in the standings. That was his first win of the season last night. And then Kyle Larson fifth. Denny Hamlin is sixth. Christopher Bell seventh. Ryan Blaney eighth. Joey Logano ninth. And then Tyler Reddick rounding off the top 10. And I believe it's the top 16 that make the playoffs.
Yes, sir. And that's coming up. That's coming up soon.
I feel like we just had Daytona in February.
I know.
And we're already talking about all these different playoff things. My mom was always a Denny Hamlin fan.
That's my guy.
Because of the 11th. She's born on April 11th.
That's my favorite number.
There you go.
That's cool, man.
Denny, he always seems super nice, too. Old Denny.
Denny, did you meet him?
Maybe not. No, I didn't. But just from the limited NASCAR that I used to watch a little bit of NASCAR.
I just know, back in you got Home Depot, you got Lowe's, you got all these big, and if you go into Home Depot sometimes or whatever, you hear some people talking about, back in the day. I don't know.
Yeah, when Tony Stewart was driving.
Oh, yeah, they were all about it. They might as well just close the Home Depot store down on Sunday because everybody was watching, NASCAR, because of Tony Stewart.
I can see you when you're in your twilight years being a greeter over there at Home Depot. Let's make that happen. We can make it happen now if you want.
There you go.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Lowe's or Home Depot for you.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That is
I
a
don't
tough
know.
one. I've got some recent personal experiences that would steer me one way or the other, but I'm going to leave that off the air because they're trying to make it right. So you are listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. I promise we will talk about some sports here. We got it coming up.
I'm a little early, ain't
You're
I?
just a little bit earlier.
Let's go out with this, and we're just practicing.
Yeah, we're just getting warmed up. Again, on the next break, you're going to want to give us a call. The 10th caller will have an opportunity to win 2 rounds of golf for them and a friend. 1 round each at Bay Point Golf Club. When we get back, we're going to jump into the College World Series. You are listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
You know, one thing that bothers me with time wasting is these guys will throw X amount of pitches in the bullpen. I understand if you got a guy up late, but generally speaking, those guys have been warming up. And then they bring them out there and they throw way too many warm-up.
Yeah, what's it, like 8 to 10?
Something like that. It just takes too long.
Oh, yeah. I think
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Monday afternoon. The rest of the day, a possibility of thunderstorms and some clouds, and 87 with a moderate breeze at 14 miles per hour out of the southwest. For tonight, partly cloudy skies and a low near 80. Tomorrow, partly sunny much of the day, but with a possibility of thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening and a high around 87. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
At Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, you can find all the necessary items for an unforgettable fishing experience. From pin rods and reels to the best hand-tied rigs in Florida, we have it all. With the help of our friendly and knowledgeable staff, you can be sure that you have the right gear to make that big catch. Come experience a great local bait and tackle shop located directly off 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach, located just 5 miles west of Pier Park.
The locals love it.
You're gonna love this. You are my favorite. It's my favorite.
Everybody's favorite. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is definitely Jay's jam. Mike Jones. Wow, it all started with her. There you go. She's like, you're on the radio now? Is this what's happening? I was like, no, it's Jay. 100% Jay. You are listening to the Inside Drive live on ESPN Northwest Florida, sitting inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios. Also, don't forget about South Oak Title and Closing, 4 locations across the Florida Panhandle. One right here in Panama City Beach, up there in 38, Destin, as well as up there on Highway 77 in Lynn Haven. If you are closing lots of houses, you have to choose where you want to close those at, and South Oak Title and Closing is the best of the best. And I got to give a shout out to Beach House Sales and Development as well. They are still on fire. Those ladies know what they're doing, and if you're looking for the best experience and the most knowledgeable agents, just look them up. It's Beach House Sales and Development. As you might have heard when we're going out of the last segment, this next segment coming up, when we hit the break, we're going to take the 10th caller. 10th caller is going to have a chance to play high-low. You got to guess my 18-hole score from this past weekend out there at Bay Point Golf Club. If you guess the right score, you're going to win yourself and a guest a round of 2 at Bay Point Golf Club. And even if you don't guess the right score, we may still give you something as well. So, but again, that's coming up in this next break. So you want to get your phones ready when we come out. It's going to be 850-215-6290. 10th caller has an opportunity to play high-low. And if we don't have a winner today, you'll have another opportunity at 5:40 this afternoon. We'll just keep going. It's 8:40 on the morning show, 12:40 on our show, and 5:40 on the afternoon underdogs. But you got to make sure you listen so you can hear what those guesses are, because if you're not hearing what those guesses are, you don't have as good a chance to win unless you're just like a savant and know it anyway. But Jay, did you catch any of the College World Series this past weekend? I know you were a busy fella. You were watching NASCAR last night as well, even though the College World Series was on in the afternoon.
Yeah, no, I did not. I did not get a chance to watch it, but I have heard through via text and social media and all that good stuff.
The results. What has transpired. Yes, it's that first game, just a fantastic game to watch and see. It was certainly a pretty large pitcher's duel there for a while, and LSU's Ty Floyd, he had 17 strikeouts, which ended up tying him, or excuse me, it was the record for the most in a 9-inning game. I think Ohio State many years ago, it was like a 15-inning game or something like that. So I sent it to Jim Brandt. Was that some kind of crazy record? I'll see if I can pull that up while we're talking here. But LSU ended up getting the win 4-3 in the bottom of the 11th. Florida had two runners on in the bottom of the 10th, I believe it was, and had a really good hit to left field. I forget the name of the LSU left fielder that caught that ball, but pretty much saved the game for him. And then they ended up going on. It was kind of a back-to-back, couple solo home runs, got some things going, tied it up, and then yesterday, obviously, Florida kind of broke things open with their bats, winning that game. So I think it was 24-4, setting a few records in that particular game. That was the largest margin of victory in a College World Series finals game, and tied for the second most in College World Series history, the overall World Series, second most margin of victory. They had 6 home runs. That was the most in a College World Series finals game, and the 24 runs scored by Florida was the most in College World Series history by a single team, and that also secured Florida's 54th win of the season, which was the most in program history. And then Jack Caglione hit 2 home runs yesterday, making it his 33rd home run of the year to break the 2020 record by Florida of Ivan Melendez. And then what's crazy is he's pitching tonight.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's how college baseball works right there. But
I'm scared for Florida tonight because in years past, when you have, this is just me, just history, but when you have a team score that many runs offensively, typically the bats go dead the next game. But I hope that's not the case. I mean, I hope Florida can pull it out. I know I picked LSU. Me and David picked LSU to win. I think you went Florida, didn't you?
I've had the futures bet for Florida for a little while, so I'm being selfish on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And, our sponsor, Kramer. He's a big Florida guy.
Oh,
so.
Yeah.
See, go Gators.
There you go.
That's LSU.
Oh, just kidding. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
But yeah, I mean, and you've got, it's not official tonight, but most likely Paul Skeens is going to be on the bump for LSU, who obviously pitched that fantastic game against Wake Forest. He's a potential number 1 overall pick as well. So, it's only been, that was on Thursday, I think he last pitched?
Thursday.
Yeah. So it's only been, 3 days of rest and going into tonight. But, I mean, it's the last game of the season. If you count, today, it's a night game. But yes, everything, you can't hold anything back now, Dan.
No, that's right.
You got to let him get out there and see what he can do. And, hopefully Caglione can kind of hang in there with him a little bit. But like you said, Jay, it'll be interesting to see. The bats were hot yesterday, and hopefully they don't cool off at all. And
well, when you put out 24 runs in a game, it's almost destined to cool off, though, right?
Oh, you're not going to match that performance.
And of course, you as the coach, you can't be, hey, look, guys, we need to slow down so we can save something. No, of course not. You want to get as much output as you possibly can, but the way I see it is that, you're not living up to that again. I want to see what Caveman Rick wanted to see for all 3 games. I want to see a 13-inning game tonight.
Yeah, that would be, I think that's what everybody's looking for is, that close game. It'd be interesting to see how it goes, and does Caglione bat as well when he's pitching? How does that work? I don't know the answer to that one.
I don't know the answer to that, but I can give you an answer.
Because obviously he's one of the, if not their best hitter on the team, and he's also pitching in this game. I don't know if he's batting or not. David's going to find that out for us. But if he's not batting because he's pitching, what kind of effect is that going to have on Florida's bats tonight and their ability to make something happen against arguably the best pitcher in college baseball right now?
Yeah.
So, what do you think? What do you think, Jay? Who's going to get it done tonight?
I don't know, man. Just like I said, I think Florida, pulled up too many runs yesterday, and I'm just going from my Atlanta Braves and watching them for, if they ever get 15 runs in a game, man, they just cool off. And so anyways, I'm still going to stick with LSU. I feel like it's going to be a good game. I hope it does go into extra innings. I'd love to see a little bit of drama unfold.
Yeah, I mean, especially in Game 3.
Oh, yeah.
The national championship.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that Florida will be the home team for this one, so they'll be batting in the bottom because they were the higher seed of the two teams, and they were the home team in the first game of the series. LSU was the home team yesterday. So the away team has won both games so far in the College World Series finals.
Ooh.
Little fun fact there. Yeah. Interesting, though, that LSU only used 2 pitchers in that 11-inning game in Game 1. So they've still got plenty of guys that are fresh and healthy in relief. So, even if Skeens only goes, 2 or 3 innings, but gets them going in a good, couple, he probably only go 3 or 4 innings, because he just pitched that huge game against Wake Forest only on 3 days rest. So it's going to come down to those bullpens, that's for sure. But hopefully Florida's Caglione can get them at least 4 or 5 innings out there to jumpstart it. Yesterday, I mean, Florida just kind of blew it wide open and just never turned back.
No,
that grand slam was the. It's really the first game in the college. No, I think there was a 6-1 and there was a 5-0, but this is the first game in the entire College World Series that had really got quote unquote out of hand.
Yeah.
In the actual College World Series, not Super Regional.
Yeah, just the College World Series.
Wake Forest, Alabama.
Oh, yeah. Very similar to what happened yesterday afternoon over there up in Omaha.
But that one yesterday, though, just got out of hand in a hurry, man, because it looked like it was going to be back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
What was it, the 3rd inning? Florida just broke it wide open, and that was over.
Yeah, they hit that grand slam. Yeah. They were hitting some really high homers yesterday.
Which was Kidd's 2nd home run of the day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Wild.
Yep, crazy. 6 home runs yesterday by the Florida Gators.
That's crazy.
I don't think you're going to see that again tonight.
I just wonder when we're moving from aluminum bats to like wood bats in the college.
I don't know if they're aluminum anymore.
Are they not aluminum?
They're all like some kind of fancy composite.
Is it?
Core.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
The only reason I know that is because now I'm in the bat buying game.
No, there you go.
And boy, those things aren't cheap.
No.
Now you do get some warranties on some of them, so like I'm tempted to cash in on a warranty and then just sell the bat brand new.
Man, so when I was a kid, that's when bats started getting really popular, like with the Omaha, Louisville, Slugger, and all of that good stuff. And, it was the rat race, if you will. All the rich kids on the team had them. So it was like, well, Dad, can we get a bat like that or whatever? Looking back on it now, though, I wish, didn't even have that kind of ideology or whatever and just used whatever, because at the end of the day, there's a reason why these kids in the Dominican Republic and Venezuela and stuff are coming, and they're so much better when they get here because they're playing with paper bags on their hands, and they're playing with broomsticks, and they're playing with bottle caps and stuff. And then when they finally get to, it's like if you start out golf and you already have the best clubs on the market, okay, that's not going to make your game better, but if you play better with that terrible equipment, or if you start with that terrible equipment, get the fundamentals right, and then you get the equipment. Man,
that's what we talk about with golf all the time. You get lessons to get better, and then you buy better equipment to make your better game even better. I mean, it's the same thing with hockey sticks. I mean, when I was playing ice hockey coming up through high school was kind of when the aluminum sticks had always been around, but you had to put the blade into the aluminum stick. It's kind of when the first one-piece sticks started coming around. And so we still had a couple guys that used wooden sticks, especially on defense, but they were so much lighter, but man, they were expensive. Oh, yeah. You went from buying a really nice Sherwood $50 hockey stick to the first one was that Easton gray one. I forget what it's called. James.
Synergy?
Yes, the Synergy, the Eastern Synergy. And they were like $200. Yeah. Now, they didn't break nearly as much, but you had to have a couple of them because if one did break, you had to have a backup stick. Right. So it's same thing with baseball. It was that was about that time frame when technology really started going crazy in all sports.
Yeah.
Not so much football. I don't know what technology has done for football.
Well, LSU's going to have air-conditioned helmets this year.
Ooh.
Oh, my gosh.
There you go. There's a fun fact that I didn't know about.
Yeah, it's wild.
Is that because they had to vacate all those wins from 2012 to 2015?
Cooler heads will prevail, fellas.
Yes, we need some cool in our helmets because everybody's pissed because we had to vacate all those wins.
But our buses don't have air conditioning, right?
No, I don't know. I'm assuming that LSU's buses got air conditioning.
I'm just thinking
like on the school bus.
School bus, yeah. Like we didn't even.
Yeah. That's what we took the big school bus to hockey when it was 35 degrees outside, and when you're the freshman, you had to unload all the bags off the back of the bus, which the bus driver never turned off the bus, so you're just back there sucking all that carbon dioxide. But it was so cold outside that it would warm you up, and nothing like having to toss the bags on there, stack them up on the back seats, and then throw them off when you get there. Yeah, probably something you never thought about there, Jay.
No, yeah, there's 50-50 there. You're getting warm, but you're also like dying at the same time.
Yeah, a little carbon monoxide.
Yeah, it's really not good for the lungs when you're going out there to try to skate. But yeah, no. And then of course when we played golf, we were on the really, really short bus, driving around all over the county. So went from one extreme to the other.
Yeah,
for sure. But
well, it's kind of like with you, David. I mean, I grew up. I didn't grow up poor, but I mean, I didn't grow up with a lot. But I mean, I didn't have no bat bag. You saw the kids with bat bags back in the day. I didn't have a bat bag.
Liam's got a damn bat bag. All the kids do.
Yeah.
Well, they're 8 years old.
Yeah,
but they get walk-up music and everything now.
That's
it's like
right.
being at the big leagues in Little League. You got to love it for the kids.
Oh,
it makes it fun. Makes them want to play the sport more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, I remember having the leggings that weren't built into the sock. You know how you had the leggings that wouldn't build into the sock.
Like the stirrup?
The stirrup, yeah. Okay. But these actually like went around your foot, and so you actually like went to Walmart and whatever and bought like the actual like sock, and then you put the stirrup on there.
Oh yeah, I remember doing that. The little bit of baseball I played.
Yeah.
And now these pants, kids are getting. They got the Velcro and stuff on the inside. None of them wear this. I was trying to get Liam to wear socks all season, but he wouldn't do it.
What?
He wanted to wear the full pant. Now, he did have the handlebar mustache with the eye black, so
there you go.
We did do
Gotta
that.
have that.
Yeah.
He really?
Oh, yeah. Yep. And once he started doing that, he had to have it every game.
I love it.
I love it. Cool. Yeah. Yep. He didn't do it for football the other day, but that's because we couldn't find it. Had we found it, who knows?
Does it ever start sweating?
No, it doesn't really come off. I'll have to find you a picture.
It's like a smudged up mustache.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I don't even know. It was him and Beth one night. We're getting ready for a game, and I was meeting him there. Brian might have had a volleyball game, and then she sent me a picture. I was like, what are y'all doing? But he wanted to do it. He wanted to have the handlebar mustache.
We could see this on Fox on Sunday, 12, 14 years from now.
Except with real blonde hair.
So, yeah.
Who was the guy in Major League that had the handlebar mustache that was on the Yankees?
Hayward.
Yes.
Hayward.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what it made me think of. That's for sure.
He's like, just get this over the plate. He's like, the last time I did it, it hadn't landed yet.
Yep. So many pitches to choose from. How about the old number one?
The old number one.
I did go back here to the TCU Florida box score the last time that Caglione pitched, and he had 4 at bats. So he pitched for 4 innings, but he had 4 at bats. So I'm assuming he was hitting the whole entire game.
So I guess if you pitch your pitcher that also is in the batting lineup, you just don't have a DH for that game.
It's like
whenever
he's done pitching, he's the designated hitter at that point.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a little wild because Shohei this year has been hitting while he's pitching and stuff, which they're working on a rule right now. I think it's called the Shohei rule,
So
which is down there. And no, because they actually changed it this year for him. But if your starting pitcher doesn't go 5 innings, then you lose your designated hitter.
Ah, so you were saying something about that last
pinch
week.
Hitter, you got a pinch hit for your pitcher or whatever, which I think could be really cool.
Yeah, a lot of strategery, Jay, in that one. Do you keep your pitcher out there a little bit longer? I don't know.
SMH, man, SMH.
Yeah, you can't handle all the changes.
I mean, I can't. I mean, it's just.
Did I tell you that the bases were bigger too?
No
Crickets.
way.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yes, the bases are bigger.
Is that it? Is that pushing you over the edge?
Yeah,
You done with Major League Baseball?
That was a wild one, though.
Yeah, that is wild.
What's the reasoning behind that?
Safety.
Safety first. Always first shoes in the house.
All I can think of, what's going through my mind right now is that part in the Bad News Bears where they're at the Astrodome and everybody's going, let them play. Let them play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, let's do away with the rules and let them play.
And speaking of let them play, if you want to have a chance to play golf at Bay Point Golf Club for you and a friend, you got to tune in right now as we got our break coming up here in just a minute. We'll take the 10th caller. We'll have a chance to play high-low, where you have to guess my 18-hole score from this past weekend. Winner will win a round of golf for you and a friend. And if you don't, we'll probably give you a consolation prize as well. We'll see what happens. But got to tune in at 12:40 coming up here in just a minute. Don't miss your opportunity. Give us a call, 850-215-6290. We'll be right back taking your phone calls.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Carl.
Mustard. Just love
mashed taters.
Tell me what movie we're talking about. Sling Blade. Sling Blade, man. You know, he
also knows a James Hale story.
Get out to Beef-4 Braves. Have a great meal day. Is that all what I did? You really screwed my commercials up. Thank you so much.
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Bestway Portable Buildings has been your portable building specialist since 1989. Before you invest your hard-earned money someplace else, owner Jason Mulder invites you to stop by Bestway and get a quote on just about any size building. And whether you buy with Bestway or not, it's worth the trip just to meet Bestway Buddy. Say hello, buddy. Good boy. Bestway Portable Buildings, just north of Harts Marine on 231, and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. The best in portable, period. Tell them Buddy sent ya.
Chuck was terrible at fishing. He spent many frustrating hours attempting to get results he saw from internet videos, aggravating trial and error fishing trips, and misguided advice from well-intended friends. Chuck is happy now with his newfound success after he visited Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, where we keep fishing fun, simple, and successful. See us soon at Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
Exchange at the Beach is a new luxury apartment community located on the Upper Grand Lagoon neighborhood on Thomas Drive. They feature some of the largest square footage for their 1- and 2-bedroom apartments with a state-of-the-art fitness center, gaming area with a pool table, foosball, and table tennis. They also have a stunning pool with comfy day beds, outdoor fireplace, and gas grilling station. Exchange at the Beach between NAS Panama City and St. Andrews State Park.
We're starting fresh.
Fresh new start.
Locally sourced, farm to radio. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is live and local. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. On ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is another Beth Mulvey classic.
That's a good one.
Whenever it's the first day of the month, this is what she always says to me in the morning. It's the first of the month. Got to make sure those bills are paid. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida, sitting inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios. Over that break, those phone lines were lighting up.
They were.
And we do have caller number 10 on the line. Rob, are you out there?
Yes, I am. How are y'all today?
Doing great, Rob. How are you?
I'm good.
All right.
I'm good.
You ready to play some high-low?
I'm going to try.
All right, sounds good. So the question for this week is, what was my 18-hole round of golf score from over the weekend?
I'm going to say 74.
Ooh, that is
Too high.
That was a good guess, though.
Then you play better than you act like you play. Then
That's all part of the mystique of my my golf game. That's for sure. I try to play as little as possible, so it's always this big mystery out there for sure. But yeah, had a chance to play some golf with my son Liam over the weekend. Had a great time. And how are you, what do you got for us? Who's going to win the game tonight, Rob? What do you think? Florida or LSU in this big game 3? So many factors that can go into it. But what do you think?
well, to me, I'm looking for a good game because I don't have a dog in the fight. But after yesterday, I think once it got out of hand, when it got beyond the 7-3 score, I think LSU just kind of gave up and put the one kid in there at the end of the game to take one for the team.
Yeah, that's certainly what it looked like. Yeah, and even the way they were fielding and stuff like that. You know, it's hard. You know, you want to go as hard as you can every play, but you know, when you're down by a 10 spot on the scoreboard, that's certainly and knowing you have a third game to play for sure.
Well, and Florida had to take that one. I mean, their backs were against the wall early. You know, they couldn't give up. You know, and so and LSU's fans, all their voices will be rested tonight because they sure were loud Friday night.
No, they were certainly loud. And
Saturday night.
I didn't even know there was Florida fans up there until yesterday when I started hearing them cheering when the Gators got out to that lead. But yeah, should be a great game tonight. Good matchup on the mound, that's for sure. But if I recall correctly, you're a Georgia guy, right? Is that right?
No, I'm a Seminole guy.
Seminole, that's right. Right. Yeah. So, you know, all the exciting stuff. You know, Jordan Travis is, you know, I think he's in the top 4 for Heisman odds to win. You excited about the Seminole season coming up? You think they're going to win that ACC championship?
Well, you know, I think they've got the talent there. I just don't know, you know, health-wise, how are they going to, you know, if they can stay healthy, yes, I think they got a great opportunity.
Well,
you know, they got a lot of guys that came back that should have moved on to the pros, but I think if they can stay healthy, and they're deeper than a lot of people give them credit for, so I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the first year or two. No more divisions in the ACC, so you can even afford to lose a couple games and still finish in that top 2 and have a chance to win the ACC championship.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think that, you know, everybody wants to say that how big the LSU game is going to be at the first of the year, but I think FSU probably does have a lot more riding on it. But LSU, you know, because LSU can lose that game, and if they go through the SEC undefeated, you know, then they're a walk-in. But you know, it's going to be interesting. I can't wait for football season to get here. But there again, baseball season's been pretty good this year too. So
yeah, absolutely, it's been.
And then we do have the Bay Point Bill Fish Invitational coming up this week.
Hard to believe.
You know, y'all were saying that how far they have to go. You know, they can get through some deep water by going to the mouth of the Mississippi, and that's only 98 miles the way the fish swim.
Interesting.
So, so, you know, you've got what they call the gully over there where the Mississippi comes out, and that's 1,500 feet offshore in there. So
good to know.
So you think anybody would be taking a run over there instead of going out deep to the shelf?
Well, you know, it just depends on what the weather's like, you know. Because, you know, if you watch when they took off from, where was it, Destin or the one they were just at?
Yeah, the ECBC that just happened, yep.
Yeah, there's some outboards that went out over there, you know, center consoles. And, you know, they can run a long ways, but they can't put it with, you know, no 6 to 8 foot seas. So, I mean, but they're fast enough they can run from a lot of that stuff. But I can remember when they had the state record when it was won and everybody was watching it because back then Sports South had it on TV.
Yeah, that's what Scott was saying a couple weeks ago, and yeah, he said it was just an awesome because it was live, it was televised.
That's crazy.
They were trying to carry it over and keep the suspense going while they were trying to figure out how to what was going wrong with the scale and all that, and then the procession going in and out.
And I didn't get a chance to call the day that Scott was there, but, you know, if they could, when they have a lot of downtime, is to actually show some videos and stuff of people catching, you know, their blue marlins and stuff, because Walsingham used to videotape all of his when he would go into South America and all that down in there, marlin fishing and stuff. He used to play that in his office. And so but, you know, just to show people what it's like when you get in that fighting chair and when you get buckled down and you're fighting one of them fish. And, you know, a lot of people don't know this, but you got to keep that fish alive because not as you're fighting him. Because if you tucker him out and he just dives down and that's dead weight, you can't get him back to the top. If he dives or gives out and just goes to the bottom, that's why if you ever watch that Wicked tuna, you see them, you get them what they call circling. And as that fish is swimming or whatever, you can fight him and go to him. But if you wear him out and it actually dies on the line, he goes down and you can't get him back up because it's all dead weight, and you'll never get him back to the top.
Makes you wonder what's changed in that world. And it's been 12 years now since we've had the Billfish tournament. It makes you wonder what's changed in the last 12 years, just in technology and things like that nature. But
the technology, the sonar systems that they have on the boats now is just, like you said, you can find the bait. You've got satellite pictures of water temperatures. You can find your your weed lines. So it's not near as much of a guessing game anymore.
More of a science.
Right. A lot of these guys will fish a tournament every weekend, now. And so they know exactly where they were at last weekend, who caught fish, who didn't catch fish. And so,
and kind of this run along the Panda, they're all virtually fishing the same water, right?
Well, some are going to go down, close to Mexico. Some of them are going to go to the gully over there. It just all depends.
Jeez.
It just depends on what you think is best for you and where to go. So
Jay,
they're not all circling around each other out there fishing. They're and some of them are speed trolling to catch wahoo. Some of them, it's a lot. That's why those guys make a lot of money that's running them boats that's taking these guys fishing, because they know what they're doing. Because I remember back in the late 70s when they first had it was called the Captain's Billfish Tournament at Bay Point. And then they had one at Grand Lagoon. And a bunch of the charter boat captains, they would come in there where I was working at Captain Anderson's and start tying up all their baits and making stuff and taking mullet and splitting them and, doing all kinds of stuff to it. But that was one of the first ones, and it was probably back in 78, something like that they had the Captain's Invitational.
Are you coming out for this one, Rob?
No, I'm not going to. I would like, and I'd like to ask Scott, or find out, is it going to be live streamed and be able to see it?
Well, there's a media trailer already parked over there.
That's Neves Media. That's he's helping out with a lot of the signs and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I'd like, if there was some type of a live stream or something like that they could do, which, and this is the first one that they've gotten back. I'm sure they had to set new pylons for some of these boats they brought in here, them nearly 100-foot sports fishers and all that sort of stuff that they got now, because I don't think Bay Point could even dock some of them.
Well, when they rebuilt from the hurricane, they added some slips that were for that size boat. I don't know if that was, I don't think at the time was for the tournament, but it worked out that because the way they rebuilt the marina after the hurricane, they were able to accommodate many more larger boats. Yeah, they got a few huge ones kind of out there, looking out from the marina out there on that right side. But I'll find out from Scott, and I'll put it on the air tomorrow if they're going to live stream or not, one way or the other. But I'd like to find that out myself as well. So
yeah, because if people have never gone out there, like you said, do the dock walk and look at those boats, and everything, it is unbelievable.
Yes.
What some of them boats look like and how they are and everything, and it's something nice to see. We just don't see that kind of stuff in Bay County much anymore, because but there's some money. And I played in a couple of the golf tournaments and stuff, because people I worked for, they were big Bill Spann friends and stuff, and they always sponsored a lot of it. And so it was really big when Bill had it, real great. And it's a great opportunity for Bay Point to get out there and everybody else. And I guess it's, Roberts or whatever that's sponsoring. What did you say, the dock or something?
Yeah, the Roberts and Roberts stage. Yeah, George is involved, our owner's involved, Jay Quave, and then Scott Rossman, all involved with bringing this tournament back to life. And we're certainly excited to see it. Rob, thanks for giving us a shout. Okay. And just stay on the line. We do have a consolation prize for you. You're going to get if you want to come out and use it or not, a large bag of range balls out there at Bay Point. So we'll have that as a consolation prize for you. So just stay on the line there with David.
All right. Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
Yes.
You too, Rob.
Thanks for calling in. So make sure you tune in at 5:40 tonight. That was a huge hint, in my opinion, if you were listening on what Lynn Haven Rob guessed there for my score from this past weekend. So you'll have another opportunity at 5:40 tonight on the afternoon underdogs to see if you can win a round of golf for yourself and a friend to come out and play some golf out there on the Nicklaus course, which is in fantastic shape right now. That little bit of rain we had last week, really, all that fertilizer we had sitting in the soil is coming to fruition. They were able to get some mowing done this morning because obviously with as much rain as we have, that kind of slows down your ability to mow and also makes the grass grow a little bit faster. But tune in at 5:40 this afternoon. If you're the 10th caller, you have another chance to play high-low. And if you were listening just a few minutes ago, you have a pretty good chance of guessing the right score now at this point.
You do. You got a really good chance.
Yeah, we won't even talk about the morning show one because I think it will went a little haywire. That's for sure. But update on the Jello shot competition up there. I know Rocco's is certainly happy that LSU made it to the final series. A lawyer by the name of, let me get it up. I only have a couple minutes left. Gordon McCurran. He's a lawyer there in Louisiana. He purchased he purchased 8,888. They're calling them rally shots today, trying to get LSU to rally in this final game. And the cool thing about this one, I mean, that's a lot of money. It's like a little over 30 grand is what their receipt was saying. But they're going to take proceeds from today's sales and donate it to local food banks.
Oh, wow.
So not only is it great, marketing for Rocco's and they're making some serious revenue, but they're doing some good things with this as well. Because I know as of yesterday, LSU was approaching that 50,000 Jello shot mark at 46,259, and now with that particular lawyer's purchase this morning, that puts them well over 50,000, which is insane, especially given the next highest total is Florida, or excuse me. Yeah,
it's Wake Forest.
It's
right?
Wake Forest. Yeah, Florida's not even up there.
Virginia,
like 3,000.
Yeah, 3270. Yeah, Wake Forest with 7,622 is second.
Stanford and Virginia didn't even touch a stat.
I know. I was watching that. Yeah,
866 for Virginia. But LSU is what? That's almost 50,000 ahead of second place.
So if they win or lose tonight, do you think if they win, there's more Jello shots taken, or if they lose, there's more Jello shots taken?
Oh, no Jello shots if they lose. It's going to be straight.
It's done.
Yep, cut off. Rocco's is out.
But maybe you drink
at Rocco's, but they'll just be drinking something a little bit stronger than Jello shots.
Right. Unless they put Everclear in those Jello shots. Who knows?
It's true.
Who knows? But real quick before we hit the end of the show, I wanted to mention that game one, the pitcher for the Gators, his name is Brandon Sproat, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. He's from Pace High School, just down the road over there in Pensacola. He had a great showing. He started game one for the Gators, and I want to say he pitched 4 or so innings, but a great outing for sure, just from someone down the neck of the woods. And I know Cooper Moss, who plays for Arnold High School, son of Steve Moss, is committed to Florida. So a lot of local baseball talent playing at the next level, which is always exciting to see. This afternoon, you've got the afternoon underdogs coming up again. As I mentioned, 5:40, you'll have a chance to win that blast to the Bay Point. Also, as always, we are your home for the Atlanta Braves. They are sponsored locally by Bestway Portable Buildings, Dave & Buster's, PCB Hobby, and Gulf Coast Aquarium. They're going to start a series tonight against the Twins. First pitch is at 6:20 following the afternoon underdogs. So good luck to the Atlanta Braves. I believe they took 2 out of 3 against the Cincinnati Reds, which was a tough series. Reds gave them all they can handle, but continuing on and playing some great baseball. So we'll talk more about the Braves tomorrow. We're actually going to have Jay Chapman in studio with us tomorrow, which I'm excited to talk to him not only about baseball, but he loves golf as well. Been a fun show, Jay. Thanks for divorcing your Atlanta Falcons. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll see you tomorrow.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Hey troops, Coach Manley from the Coach James Hale Morning Show. Now you can take me with you everywhere you go with the new app from ESPN Northwest Florida. We're going everywhere together. Tyndall Credit Union drive-through window, hitting the links at the Sun Hills Golf Course. Sorry there, buddy, didn't mean to hit you there.